So yes, like I said, we're trying to bring, I'm trying now to bring more and more of this into your everyday actions so that you are not so reliant on your improvements from the stuff on the floor. By now you should be understanding what we're trying to do, and these exercises become challenges, but then we have to start bringing them into our everyday life. So sitting on your mat, hold behind your knees and just pull that head up to the ceiling. Use the hands on the underneath of the thighs to pull that chest forward. Lovely. So breathing in, breathing out, push the chest forward. So all of you take the tops of your heads forwards a bit. So your top of your head is above your middle bottom, so that you're not leaning back. So Sarah and Jane, don't lean back, chests up. Good. And Mum, Mum's the other way. She's leaning forward. Okay, good. All right. So pushing those knees down towards the mat. So go as straight as you can with your knees. We're going to lift those shoulders up to the ears back, put the hands on the floor behind, and then pull those shoulders down and push that chest forward. So we're lifting up. So we're using the arms like stakes in the ground or guy rods to push that those shoulders forward and that chest forward, squeezing those shoulder blades back. Breathing in, breathing out, pull that chin down towards the chest. And then take that chin up to the sky. So we move that neck while our shoulders are pulled back and down. Pull that chin down. And then tilt the head to the right. Pull that left ear away from the left shoulder, keeping the eyes looking at the feet. Keep the eyes looking at the feet and tilt the head to the left. Pull that left ear from that left knee. Push those shoulders down. Bring those eyes to horizontal, turn the head to the right, and then pull the chin into the chest while it's turned. So you change the angle of stretch in the neck. Pushing up the back of the neck, the top of the head away from the neck. Bring the eyes up. Bring the head around to the left, eyes horizontal. Bring that chin down into the chest. Pulling those shoulder blades back. And then bring the eyes up, bring them back to center, and then bring that chin all the way down, looking at the navel again. Pushing the top of the head away from those shoulders. And then release the head up, release those hands. Pop the hands on the knees and roll those hands, slide those hands forward towards the feet. Pushing through that middle back, lower back, upper back. Trying to push the top of the head over the feet. Lengthening, so don't just bring the nose down to the knees, because that just crumples. Lengthen through that back, stretching. And then sitting yourself up nice and tall, roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down, and put the left hand on the right knee. Right hand behind, lift and turn. And then turn around to the front and put the right hand on the left knee, lift and turn the other way. And then come back round to the front, holding underneath those thighs, lift that chest up. Slide those hands forward, stretching on those inner those hamstrings. Push those knees down to the ground, right knee down, then the left knee, and then push both knees down. Slide those hands back to the knees, and then walk your feet towards your bum. Let your knees drop out. We just feel that inner thigh. So I'm going to hold around my feet. So my back is slumped. So I'm now going to hold my feet or my ankles and lift my chest up. So lift that chest up, pull onto those seat bones. And then round that back, go onto that tailbone, feel how we lose the stretch. But we can tilt the body forwards and take the head towards the toes and feel the stretch through that inner thigh and the lower back. Breathing in, breathing out. Pop those elbows on those shins and just push those shins down to the floor. Leaning the body forward a bit more. Try and push those knees up into the elbows. So we're just tensing the inner thigh. And then we're going to breathe in and on the out breath release and let that stretch further. Bring that head Bring the head up to the ceiling and the tummy button towards the thighs. So we straighten that back, trying to pull forward onto that front bottom. And you feel the change of the stretch on that inner thigh. And then lift yourself up to vertical, still holding those legs. And then really pull onto that front bottom. So I'm on my middle bottom. You're getting that hip bone forwards. Breathing in, breathing out. Release that back. Push those feet out to straight. Bring those knees back together. Lift yourself nice and tall. Breathing in, bring those arms up. And then on the out breath, lower down to the floor. One vertebra at a time. All the way down to the ground. Lowering nice and slowly. Resting on the ground. Take those arms all the way over the head. Palms together. Reaching those hands away. Push that right hand. Let that slide away from the left hand. Pushing that away from those feet. Push that right foot away. Feel the stretch through the ribs, through the armpit, through that hip. Push that right leg down. And then release. Make those palms together again. And then push that left hand away. Let that glide past the right hand. Keep those shoulders on the floor. Stretch through that armpit. Stretch through those ribs. Stretch through that side. Push that leg away. And then release. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Bring them all the way down to your side. Slide your fingers under your bottom. Roll those shoulders up to the ears. Slide them down and then push off those elbows, but keep the back of the head on the floor. So we push off those elbows, lift that chest up, stretching through that upper back, breathing in. Breathing out, push through that upper back. Pushing those shoulder blades together behind your back. So you might have to shimmy, rock onto the right arm, rock on the left, and just lift and pull those arms together. Breathing in. And then breathe out and release the back flat on the floor. Let the shoulders spread. Bring that left knee in towards the chest and bring the right knee in. So my tailbone's on the floor and I'm in neutral. So we're always in neutral unless otherwise. So shoulders are on the ground, ribs are on the ground, lower back slightly lifted, tailbone to the floor. Breathing in, on the out breath, pull those knees towards the chest. So let your knees drop apart a bit. Yeah, let your knees drop apart. So my knees are on the outside of my body. So they're pulling up towards my hip. If I bring my knees in towards so they're touching, I can't bring my knees to my chest because it's impinging on the cup of the pelvis. So if I pull my knees apart, the leg can then swing on the outside of the pelvis. And so it swings in that cup. I'm pulling those knees up, pushing the tailbone down, breathing in, breathing out, release, keeping neutral spine, pop those feet on the floor and slide those legs away, keeping in neutral spine. Put those hands underneath the bum, palms up, breathing in. On the out breath, shoulders up to the ears, down and back. And we're going to push up onto the back of the head. So we're going to lift up a little bit. We're coming up onto the back of the top of the head. Lifting, pushing those shoulder blades together. Use those heels to pull yourself down the mat a little bit. Lifting that belly up, lifting that back up, squeezing those shoulder blades together, breathing in. Breathing out, squeeze the shoulders under your back and then release the back onto the floor again. Let those shoulders separate. Bring that right knee in first this time, keeping neutral. Bring the left knee in, still in neutral spine. Pull those knees to these shoulders, breathing in. And on the out breath, release the neutral spine and let the tailbone curl up to the sky. Let that pelvis bend the other way. Lift the tailbone off the floor. Shoulders may lift up a little bit. And then release back into neutral spine. Little arch of that lower back. Bring those hands to the ground, palms up, pull those shoulder blades together, and then lowering that right foot to the floor, keeping in neutral. Lower that left foot to the floor, keeping neutral. Slide both feet away, keeping in neutral. Pop your fingertips under your bum, breathing in. And on the out breath, push off those elbows and lift all the way up onto the top of your head. Breathing in. Fill the lungs up with air and really spread those ribs apart from each other. And then breathing out, squeeze those shoulder blades together under your back and lift your chest up to the sky higher. Pushing off the elbows, stretching all the way through the upper back. And then lower back down to the floor. Bring that left knee in, bring that right knee in. So we're in neutral spine, tailbone is down to the ground, lower back slightly lifted, pull those knees up to the armpits, breathing in. On the out breath, let that back round flat into the floor, lift the tailbone up, pull those knees right down towards those armpits. So we really close that hip joint down. So take your knees further apart, Jane, so that they're up, coming up the side of your body. And see if you can get your thighs onto your tummy. Good, well done, Sarah, that's great, well done, Mum. Pulling them up. Now release the tailbone, feel how the knees come away from the tummy. Roll those shoulders into the floor. Put those hands on the floor beside you, palms up. And keeping neutral, you're going to take that left foot to the ground. And you're going to this time slide that left leg out straight, keeping those shoulders still. And then you're going to slide that left foot using the floor or keeping it just off the floor. Slide that left foot back in. Push those fingers down towards the feet. Take that left leg over and foot on the floor. Slide that left leg away to straight. Bring that left leg back in. So we're using the core, drawing in, using the glutes. Take that left leg over to the floor. Slide that left leg out straight. Pushing it away. Bringing that left leg back in and then leaving it. Keeping the knees up towards the chest or the shoulders, but keeping them wide. Take that right foot down to the floor. Slide that right leg out straight. Lengthen it. Push that right leg away. Bring that right leg back in and then lift it back up. Take that right leg over down to the floor. Lengthen that right leg away, either keeping the foot on the ground or having it just off the ground, and then bring it back in, lift it back up. One more with the right leg, push that right leg away. Let it all the way out on the ground. Bring that right leg back in and lift it back up. Okay, pop those arms up, pop them on the inside of those knees and really let those knees come apart. Roll those shoulders up to the ears into the floor and down. Keep those knees apart. Lengthen the spine so you make sure the tailbone's on the floor, lower back slightly lifted. Pushing pushing those knees down using your arms, keeping the shoulders on the floor, breathing in. On the out breath, push those knees into the arms. Pushing those knees into the arms, breathing in. And breathing out. Release the push, let those legs separate. Let those legs separate, lengthen those arms down, pulling the shoulders down towards the waist, keeping the shoulder blades on the floor. And release, bring those knees back to the center. Take those hands all the way up to the sky. Lift that upper body up, so those hands pivot down to horizontal. Yeah, lifting. And then releasing back to the floor, hands to the sky, head goes down, breathing in. On the out breath, lifting that upper body up, bring those arms to horizontal, reaching those feet, and then releasing down, arms to vertical. Breathing in. On the out breath, lifting up, arms come to horizontal, eyes looking through those knees to the feet. Release that upper body down, hands come up. Breathing in. Roll yourself up again, arms to horizontal. Laying yourself back to the floor. This time take those arms all the way over the head. Rest them on the ground, pull those shoulders down towards the waist. Push those arms away, stretching through those shoulders. Pull those shoulders down towards the waist, secure those shoulder blades into the ground. Keep those knees and legs strong. Bring those arms up to the sky, keeping the shoulders on the ground. Breathing in. On the out breath, take that right foot down to the ground and bring it back up. Take that left foot down to the ground, bring it back up, nothing moves. Except the leg. Take that right leg down to the ground, bring it back up. Yeah, so knees are up off the floor. Hang on, feet are in the air, knees are 90 degrees, Sarah. Get your shin bones parallel to the floor. Pull those shoulders into the floor. Rotate that thigh around. So we're just doing toe taps onto the floor. Yeah, down and then lift. So keep the knee at 90 degrees. Take that left leg around, tap the toe on the floor, bring it back up. Take that right leg down, tap the toe on the floor, bring it back up. Take that left leg down, tap the toe on the floor, bring it back up. Keep those shoulders into the floor. Okay, both legs. Take those legs over, both legs together. Really draw that core in, tap the floor, bring those legs back up. 4 more. Take both legs over, tap them on the floor. Keep the knee at 90, bring back up. So both, all of you take your foot further from your bottom. Take those legs down to the floor. So the knee stays the same angle. Lift those legs back up. Good, 2 more, shoulders into the ground, back of the head on the floor. All the way over, back up, and then 1 more. All the way over, hold them there, lengthen them out straight. Bring that left knee in, take hold of it with those hands. Bring that knee up towards the chest. Pull that knee all the way over your body. Turn your eyes to the left, pulling that left knee over to the floor on the right hand side. So sometimes I leave my left foot on my right leg. Sometimes I let that left foot fall forwards. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretch that knee away from the hand. Keep those shoulders back and down. Breathing in, breathing out. Eyes are looking at that left hand, trying to get that left ear on the floor. Roll back on the back, bring that left knee in towards the armpit. Breathing in, on the out breath, bring that left leg over the body again. Turning the eyes left, push that left hand away, push the left knee down. Turning the tummy button to the sky, turning the breastbone to the sky. And then release that left hand off the floor and roll over onto your right hand side. So pubic bone, tummy button, breastbone are in a line. Take hold of this foot. So taking hold of this top foot means that my hip is bent. My knee is in front of my body. I'm then going to pull that knee behind myself. Then I'm going to roll that shoulder up to the ear, down and back, clench the bum of this left leg. So I push forward into those hips and I push that foot into my hand, lengthening, breathing in, breathing out. Stretch that foot and hand behind me. So I really take that hip flexor back. Take that foot underneath leg forward if you're going to tip over. And then release that leg and roll back onto your back. Let that leg go out straight. Take those arms all the way over the head. Reach and stretch. And then bring the arms all the way up to the sky. Bring the right knee in. Hug that knee into the armpit. Pull that right leg over the body, pushing that right hand away. Right knee going to the floor. Right ear going to the ground. Tummy button to the sky. Breastbone coming over. Push that left leg away from the top of the head. Push that right hand away from the body. Lengthen. Breathing in. Breathing out. Roll back onto the back. Bring that right knee in towards the armpit. Breathing in. And then breathing out, pull that right knee over the body again, turning the eyes right, stretching, pushing that hand away. Bringing the breastbone to the sky, bringing the tummy button up, breathing in. Breathing out, release, roll onto that left hand side. So onto the left, breastbone, tummy button, pubic bone are in a line. Lengthen that underneath leg and maybe bring that underneath leg forwards a bit to give you some balance. Take hold of this top foot. So if it's too hard to get to your foot, hold your trousers or your sock, or you might need to put a band around that ankle. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, and you're going to clench with that bum and push that foot behind you. Now I'm going to push my foot into my hand, so I lengthen that right leg, so it's coming behind my body. Lengthening my right leg, so I'm stretching the front of the right leg. I'm stretching the front of the right hip. I'm not compressing my lower back. Push into that hand and then release. Roll onto your back. Bring those knees into the chest. Hug the nose to the knees. Lift the tailbone up, hugging up. Breathing in and then release. Hold those arms straight up into the sky. Knees are at 90 degrees. Breathing in. On the out breath, take both feet over to the floor. Take both arms over to the floor. And lengthen those legs out straight in neutral spine. So feel that spine. This is reaching up above our head. We're in neutral. Our hips are open. Our chest is open. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring those arms all the way up to the sky. Pop those fingers under the bum. Breathing in. On the out breath, push through the elbows. Lift onto the back of your head. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing in. Fill up those lungs with air. Fill those ribs, stretch them. Breathing out, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Push the chest up. Breathing in. Point those toes and fill those lungs up with air. Breathing out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then release that body back down to the floor. Bring those fingers up to the sky. Breathing in. On the out breath, chin into the chest. Grab your rope, mum, and everyone roll yourself up into sitting. Roll yourself up into sitting. Slide those hands down the legs. Be gentle on your back. You've done quite a lot of back bending, so gentle on that back, rolling forward. And then sit yourself up nice and tall. Hold those hands behind the leg. Push that head to the ceiling. Good. Look at those backs, nice and straight. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Lengthen that neck. Put the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind, lift and turn. Good, and then come back to the front, right hand on left knee, left hand behind, lift and turn. And come back round to the front. Okay, swing your knees around, come down onto your tummy. Come down onto your tummy. So we are going to do some more back bending. So bring those arms so that they are parallel to the long side of the mat. Rest your forehead on the ground. So first of all, clench the bum, push the pubic bone into the mat. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down. So get your arms in the right position for the shoulder position. Draw the tummy in so you lift the lower back and protect it. Clench the thighs and lift those knees and feet off the ground, pointing those toes. Breathing in. And on the out breath, lift that chest and upper body up, keeping the bottom ribs on the floor. Trying to take my throat as far away from the floor as possible, as if there's a mat under my nose and I'm lifting away from it. Clench my legs and my bum so they're straight and long. And then release back down to the ground, lower everything. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift, legs go out straight, upper body goes out as if you've got a bad smell under your nose or a match. Lift that head away, lift through that throat. It's under your chin, it's under your throat. Lifting, lengthen the legs, clench the bum, and then release everything onto the floor. So notice that your bum is what lifts everything. So breathing in. On the out breath, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum and push the pubic bone in the ground. Lengthening those legs and pushing the pubic bone in the ground means the bum is lifting the legs up. Breathing in. On the out breath, push the head away from the feet and lift that chest up. Again, as if there's a mat under your chin. Feel those shoulder blades pulling together. Feel the bum pushing together tight, breathing in, palms on the floor. Breathing out, just push off those palms and lift up onto the pubic bone. Legs go down to the ground. Release on those forearms and the ribs come back down to the ground. Push on those arms and forearms, the legs go down, you rest on your pubic bone. Release on those arms, you come down onto the bottom rib. One more. Clench and push on those arms, clenching the bum, pulling those shoulders back. Feel the weight on the pubic bone. And then release onto the bottom rib and release everything down to the ground. So we act like a rocking chair. We rock from the ribs onto the pelvis, back onto the ribs, back onto the pelvis. So that's what we're trying to do in the up dog, but we have our arms straight, so it's a bit hard, or it's a bit, you've got to be more refined in your movement. So breathing in. On the out breath, clench the bum, lengthen the legs, knees and feet are off the ground. Draw in the tummy, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, and then push that head away from those toes. Breathing in. Breathing out, push off those forearms and lift up onto that pubic bone. And release back down to the bottom rib. Now slide those hands so they're by the bottom rib, staying in this position. And you're just going to apply enough pressure on the hands to do that same action on the body, onto the pubic bone. Now you're going to push those arms straight and lift up onto the knees. Good. Now you're going to lower those arms back onto that pubic bone, clench the bum to hold yourself, and then release onto the bottom ribs, bring those arms back into the cobra position, and then release the body back on the floor. So feel how much your bum has to be influencing to do this action. So breathing in, clench the bum, lengthen those legs. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push off those forearms and lift that upper body up. Eyes are looking down, but as if you've got a match under your chin, you're lifting away from the flank. Breathing in. On the out breath, push off those forearms and come onto the pubic bone. Ease on those forearms, come back to the bottom rib. Bring those hands onto the floor by the bottom rib, lengthening those legs, breathing in. On the out breath, push off the hands enough to come onto that pubic bone again. And then straighten those arms and lift onto the knees. Good, lengthening the chest. Now pushing the bum into the air, go back into child pose. Back into child pose, pushing those hands forward, stretching. Good, breathing in, breathing out. Leave the hands where they are on the floor. So my knees are wide. I'm going to pull the knees away from each other without moving them, so the bum clenches. And I'm going to lift up onto all fours again. I'm now going to roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. And I'm going to clench my bottom and push it through between my hands back into that up dog position. Clench the bum, feel the tummy tight, open the chest, lift up the head away from the pubic bone. Good. Now I'm going to push the bum into the air again. And back into child pose. So I want your back to stay kind of in neutral. Your thigh obviously can't bend because it's a straight bone. So what is bending is your hip. You're bending backwards with the hip here, and then we're going to bend forwards when we come up into up dog. So pulling creating tension again away from with the knees pulling away from each other. Engage those glutes. Lift that body up onto all fours, holding that yourself strong. Swing those hips down towards the hands, clenching the bum. Drawing the core, open the chest. Lengthen the head from the pubic bone. Nice and long. See if you can go through, mum. Good. Lengthening shoulders back, Jane. Lower that pubic bone to the floor. Lower the chest to the floor and then release. Elbows are still in the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slide those arms up so that the forearms are next to your fingers are next to the top of your head. Clench your bum, lengthen your legs, draw in your core. Lift your hands and forearms up off the ground and lower. Lift those hands and forearms up. Now lift those whole arms up into the air. Pulse those arms up into the sky for 5. Squeeze the shoulder blades for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release onto the ground. Let everything go. Breathing in. On the out breath, roll those shoulders up to the ears, back and down, clench the bum, lengthen those legs, draw in the tummy, lift those hands and forearms up and lower. Lift those hands and forearms up and lower. Lift those hands and forearms up. Now lift the whole arm up into the sky, keep the forehead on the floor. Pulse the arms up, clench the bum for 4, 3, tummy up, 2, hold them there for 1. Lift them up higher for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up higher. Lift them up again for 4, 3, 2, 1. And release everything onto the floor. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Breathing in. On the out breath, push off those forearms, lift that upper body up. Clench the bum, lift those legs up off the ground. Pulling that chin away as if there's a candle under it. Holding yourself here, lift your tummy off the ground. Release and push the tummy into the floor. Now draw the tummy away from the floor. Now take those arms away from the floor and hold yourself here. Pulse the arms up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Excellent. Okay, roll yourself over onto your side. Rolling onto your left, I'm going on my left. So face me, whichever way you go. Put your underneath leg straight and your top leg under your bottom leg. Both hands on top. So now we're going to give a rotation in after doing all of that back bending. Breathing in. On the out breath, top arm comes all the way up to the sky. All the way over on the floor behind you. Keeping those knees, the knee to the floor, keeping the hip up. Turning the eyes after that hand, and then bring that hand all the way back. And then open that arm all the way wide. Pulling that shoulder to the ground. And then bringing that arm all the way up. And then opening that arm all the way wide. And then bringing that hand all the way up. And then opening that arm all the way wide. And then let those legs go to spin into the air. Roll onto your back. And then roll all the way over onto the other side. Put the underneath leg straight. Bring the hands on top of each other. Put the top leg under the bottom leg. Breathing in. On the out breath, bring the top arm all the way up to the sky and all the way over. Reach that top arm away, turning the eyes to the left. Push those hands away from each other. Bring that top arm all the way back. Breathing in. On the out breath, top arm all the way wide and open. And then all the way back. And then all the way wide and open. Push those hands away. And then all the way back. And then one more. All the way wide and open. Push those hands away. And then all the way back. And then untangle the legs and go back onto your tummy. Back onto your tummy. Forearms. Fingertips level with the eyes, elbows by the waist, forehead on the ground. Lengthen those legs, clench that bum, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Lift those legs off the floor by lengthening them. Draw the tummy in and lift it. Lift that upper body up like you've got a candle under your chin, resting on that bottom rib. Breathing in. On the out breath, push those forearms into the floor and lift onto the pubic bone so the belly comes off the ground. Lower down onto those bottom ribs. Great. Brilliant, everyone. Slide those hands down to the bottom ribs. Breathing in, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, lengthen the head from the feet. Breathing in, on the out breath, apply enough pressure to come just onto that pubic bone. Breathing in, push those hands into the floor, come onto your knees. Open your chest, clench the bum, lengthen. Good. Open your chest, Jane, mum. Bum in the air now, back into child pose. Well done. Push, stretch through that lower back, stretch through that middle back, stretch through that upper back. Walk those hands to the left and drop the hips to the right. And then walk the hands to the right and drop the hips to the left. And then bring the hands back to the middle, lengthening through the body. Pulling those knees apart, feel your bum engage. Release those knees, feel the bum let go. Pull the knees apart, feel the bum engage. Release the knees, feel the bum let go. Pull the knees apart, feel the bum engage. Lengthen those arms, pull those shoulders down and back. Lift yourself up onto all fours. Walk yourself forwards onto the mat a bit so your hands are on the front of the mat. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under the hips. Turn the inside of the elbows forward, lengthen the head away from the tailbone. Pulling the knees apart, so I'm applying pressure to those glutes. Breathing in. On the out breath, weight is going on the left leg, and I'm going to slide that right foot back behind me. So it's straight, right leg straight. The only thing moving is the leg. Draw in the core, bring that right leg to the elbow, knee to the elbow. Take that right leg out straight. Bring that right leg in, knee to the elbow. Take that right leg out straight. Lift that right leg straight up behind, so it's horizontal. Tap the toe on the floor. Clench that bum and lift. Ease that bum and lower. Open the chest, bring the back of the head to the ceiling, lift that leg to the sky. Good. Bring that toe to the floor. Lift that heel so that that leg's up. Bend that knee so the foot's in the sky and flex the foot. Bring the toes towards the floor. Good. Okay, turn the inside of the elbows forward, lengthen the head from the tailbone and lift that foot higher and then release. Higher, so don't let the knee drop below the bum. Lift and down. Pulse it up and down. Pulse it up and down. Swing that leg underneath the body. Lift that leg out to the side for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Hold it up for 1 to the side. Pulse it up higher for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down next to the other leg. Put the weight on the right leg. Turn the inside of the elbows forward, lengthen the body, bring the back of the head to the sky, chest down between those hands. Straighten that left leg out behind. Bring that left knee towards the elbows. Straighten that left leg out behind. Bring that knee towards the elbow. Straighten that left leg out behind. Bring that knee to the elbow. Straighten that left leg out. Clench and lift. Ease and lower. Clench and lift up behind. Ease and lower. Clench and lift, so it comes to horizontal. Ease and lower, don't sink the waist. Clench and lift. Bend that knee, so the thigh is horizontal, is parallel to the floor. Pulse the foot to the sky for 3, 2, 1. Swing the knee under the body. Take the knee out to the side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out to the side. Pulse it up to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down to the ground. Good. Resting both knees on the floor, hip distance apart. Roll yourself back into child pose. Push those hands forward so we give those wrists a break. Breathing in, breathing out. Pull those knees apart and bring yourself back onto all fours. Okay. Right, now take those knees right apart. Bring your left foot forwards outside of your left hand. Right, left foot forward outside of the left hand. Right leg stays back. So put your my left foot's outside here. Yeah, good. Right, hands are on the floor here. Sink your tummy button down towards the floor and bring your chest and your chin up so that you're in neutral spine, stretching through that hip. Right, so Jane, you have the ability to get that knee close to that tummy, that thigh close to that tummy. Okay, so Sarah, we've got one foot outside the hands. Are you okay? So I've got my left foot outside my left hand, and my right knee's like this. Now put your left hand on your left knee, right, and push up off that knee. Right, we're not going to use any balance stuff. We're going to stay like this. Clench this bum, clench this right bum. Push into the hip here. Push this left heel and foot into the floor and hold it with the arm. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back, and draw that tummy in. Right, you've got to use your bum, mum. Clench with your bum. Both buttocks are clenched. So we hold ourselves here through tension. Tummy, bum, chest, feet. Push this foot into the ground. Clench with the left bum, pulling that left knee out against, I can put my hand here, pull that left knee into it. So put your fingers down the outside of your leg, mum. Yeah, now pull that left knee into the hand, just gently, and tense that left bum. Now glide forward a bit and feel the tension through this front of this back leg. Breathing in, lift that body up. Sarah, take your foot a little bit further forward, and Jane, so you've got a bit more, less acute angle of your knee. Bring that right arm up into the sky. Pulling, so mum, pull your left knee into that left hand, clenching those bums, push that right hand into the sky, clench those bums. Don't let go of the tension of the bum. That's what stabilizes you. Stretch through the front of this back hip. Release that right arm down. Bend the body forward over this front leg. Put the other hand on the floor. Good, right, okay, staying like this. Clench with the bums, lift and come up. Right, use your bum. Okay, you're not going to drop on the floor this time. You're going to ease, like a fishing rod. Ease yourself forward. Ease, so the bum goes back. I'm leaning on that front leg, hand goes on the floor. Ease with your right, yes, good. So the only reason for a drop is if you've got pain in that back leg. Both hands on the floor. Walk that left foot out wide, slide it back next to that right leg. Good. Okay, so knees apart on the mat. Knees apart. Turn the tailbone down, push that back up. Turn that tailbone up and sink that back down. Eyes up. Come back into neutral. Okay. Weight goes onto my left hand, left knee. Swing that right foot out wide and put it next to that right hand. Right foot next to the right hand. Okay, good. So make sure your foot's far enough forward. Bring that right hand onto that right knee. Push the tailbone away and lengthen through the body. Bring my right toes, I can bring my right toes soft on the floor, so I'm going to push through the right heel, lift using that right hand and come up onto my knee and my foot. Clench with my left buttock and push into that left hip. Using my fingers on the outside of this right leg, I'm going to pull my right knee into my fingers. Drawing my tummy in, lift myself tall. So my left buttock is weaker and is shaking now. So clenching. Now I'm going to glide forward a bit. So I stretch through that left hip. Pulling the right knee into those fingers. Clench with your left bum, mum. Lift your shoulders up. Clench with your left bum, so your shoulders go back more. Straighten that right arm. Take that left arm up into the sky. Clenching with your, I don't think you're using your left bum. Clenching with that left bum, good. Reach that left arm up so you feel the stretch in the front of this left side, left leg. Release that left arm. Clenching that left bum, so your bum should be inverted. So you're leaning forwards like this still, Mum, which means your bum is not engaged. My bum's floppy there. I've got to push forwards with my crutch. Then my bum gets tightened, lift my shoulders up. Okay, I'm going to ease that bum backwards and lower onto this right leg. Left hand then goes to the floor, lower. Yeah, don't drop. Okay, we're going to lift back up. So clench both bums. So right leg pulls into right hand. Clench with that left bum and lift yourself up by pushing the hip forward. Head goes back. Good. Now ease. Hip goes back. Chest comes forward. So this is important because this is walking. Ease yourself down to the floor again, Mum. Bum back. So pull that right knee into that right hand, pull the left knee away on the floor, and then you're going to take the left hand off the ground in this position. I can feel an ache in my bum muscles. Now clenching with the bum, push the hips forward, bring the head back and come back up onto all fours. Sorry, up like this. Good. Lift that body strong. Now pull those knees apart from each other. Let the bum drop back and come down onto all fours. Or onto your hand and your thing. Put your right hand on the ground, walk that left foot out, walk the right foot out wide and bring it out next to that left knee. Turn the tailbone down, bring the back up. Turn that tailbone up, bring the belly down. Okay, how yoga-y are you? Can you turn your toes over? Turn your toes over so the soles of my feet are on the floor. And you now lift those knees up off the ground and rest on the feet and the hands. And then lower, drop the knees to the floor. So I'm going to roll my head over my hands, lift those knees off the floor. And then lower. And then this time we're going to push up into down dog. So we rock forward, lift the knees off the floor, push that bum up into the air. Keep your knees soft if you want, keep the knees soft. Slide the chest towards the toes, tummy to the thighs, and then push those knees straight. Walk those hands forward, bending the feet forwards, bending the knees. So you're in this, you have to bend your knees, Sarah. Bring those hands on top of the feet, and then roll yourself up to standing. Roll yourself up to standing. Okay, facing me. So standing, clench the bum and open the thighs, and then release, knees roll in, clench the bum, open the thighs. So we're doing the same as on all fours, lifting those knees out and together, release. Draw the core and lengthen the body, clench the bum, open the thighs, feel it in your bum, and release. So if I'm sideways on, I'm going to clench my bum, open my thighs. Feel it here. Now where my knicker line is, my leg line, I'm going to push backwards there as if someone's punched me, and I lean forward, and I'm in this forward fold position. So I'm coming forward. Lengthen my head away from my toes, stretching through here, through my bum. Push the tailbone away. Now put your hands either side of your knees, pull those knees into the hand. And then lift that body straight up by pushing those hips forwards, standing tall. Now clench with the bum and push forwards into your hip flexors. So my body is straight. I'm in neutral spine here. I'm pushed forwards into here, which is the stretch we did on the floor. Now I'm going to lift my body up, push that bum backwards, slide those hands down the legs, and come into this forward position. Pulling those knees apart, I'm going to lift that left heel off the floor and put all the weight on the right leg. Feel that bum working. Put that left heel down, pulling the knees apart. Transfer the weight to the left leg. Lift that right heel up. So mum, neutral spine. Look at my back shape. Jane, back of your head up. Chest down, lengthen. From here to your tailbone is a long straight line. Lengthen. Put that right heel down. Glide over onto the right side. Lift that left heel up. Bring the chest down. Stick the tailbone out beside you. Put that left heel down. Lift the right heel up. Lengthen. You must feel it in your bum. Put that right heel down. Right, hands on your hips. Okay, up, turn your middle bottom and your crotch to the floor and arch your back. Right, so now my pelvis is vertical to the ground. Now I'm going to turn the pelvis and make it horizontal to the ground. Bring the chest down. Right, that's the position, mum. Horizontal to the ground with the pelvis. Now you can feel the stretch in the bum. Pull those knees apart. Push the right heel in the ground. Lift the left heel. Still got the left foot on the ground. Release the left heel. Put the left heel in the floor. Lift the right heel. So you can feel the bum working. So this is your clam. So you've got all your core stuff making you nice and strong and open. Put both heels on the ground. Bring those hands in prayer in front. Pull those hands apart. This is what we did on our tummy on the floor. Bring those hands together. Pull those hands apart. We're opening the chest. We leave the chest in that position and we let the hands come back onto the thighs. Lift that right heel up. Push through that left heel. On the left leg, clench and drive ourselves up straight. Good, up to standing. Both feet on the floor, bum back, bend forward again. So we're in this forward position, lengthened. Right leg's on the ground, push that heel in the floor, lift the left heel up. In this bent position, so pelvis is horizontal to the floor or as near to. Push through that right heel, push the pelvis forward, shoulders come back, head to the sky. I'm nice and tall and straight. Both heels on the ground. Lower to the ground, back down again. Lengthen the head. You mustn't feel it in your lower back. If you're feeling it in your lower back, you don't have your pelvis in the right position. It has to be aligned with the spine. Glide onto that left leg, lift the right heel up. Push through the right heel, standing tall. Both feet on the floor. Bend at this hip, bum back. Weight on the right leg, lift the left leg up, lengthen through the head, and then push through that right heel, standing up tall. Okay, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Open those thighs, lengthen the body, clench the bum. Stand on the right leg, lift that chest up, put the left heel down, over onto the left leg. Right heel's up, my tiptoes on the floor. And down, over onto the right leg, clenching with the bum. Left foot's on the floor. Lift that left foot up. Keep that foot so that it's strong. Put that left foot down. Clench with the bum, open these thighs, draw in the core, open the chest, pull the shoulders back and down. Transfer onto that left leg. Right heel comes up. Lift that right foot off the floor. Put that right foot down. Open those thighs, clench the bum, draw in the core. Over onto the right foot. Lift the left foot up. And this time we step forwards onto the left leg. Oops. And we stay in this lunge position. So our crutch is forwards. We feel the stretch in this back leg. Engage the glute. Pull the left knee out. Engage that bum muscle. Lean the body forward so we get the weight over that foot. And then stand up tall on that leg. Lift the right leg up. And then step forward on that right foot. The knee's bent, knee pulls out. Stretching in the front of this right leg. Feel the stretch in the front of that right hip. Bend forward, pull that right knee out, and then stand up on that right leg. Okay, so you're walking. So remember, so this is how it all draws together, the core, the upper back, the glutes. And then we have to get the balance through standing, which we can't get so much. We get it through bridge, one leg bridge, but we don't really get it as Superman. So standing here, open those thighs apart. Draw that core in, clench the bum, push into those hip flexors. Bring those arms all the way up into the sky. Breathing in, push those arms straight up over your head. Take hold of your right wrist in your left hand and bring it all the way over, reaching all the way over to the left. So you're stretching over that left side. And then bring yourself up to tall. Take the left wrist in the right hand and bring that all the way over to the right side, reaching up tall. Come back to central. Push those hands up, take the eyes up, clench the bum, turn those thighs out, bring those arms all the way out wide. Bring them all the way up in front, hands in prayer. Take those hands apart, squeeze those shoulders, drop those arms down, put the hands behind you. Opening that chest, lifting. Drawing, clenching the bum, turning the thighs out, big toe stays on the floor. Big breath in. Release those arms. Rest them, let them hang down. And roll your shoulders. So that is the next step.